Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into a genuinely mind-blowing wealth experiment designed specifically for everyday, ordinary workers. You know, if you've ever felt like building real wealth is this exclusive club reserved only for the ultra-rich or people making massive six-figure salaries, well, this breakdown is going to completely flip that perspective upside down. We're going to unpack the exact mechanics of how one tiny, almost unnoticeable daily habit can literally rewrite your entire financial destiny.
I want to kick things off by asking you a very direct, real-world question. If you're bringing home 3,000 Singapore dollars a month, do you think financial freedom is actually possible? For a lot of us, the gut reaction is just no way, absolutely impossible. And honestly, that's completely understandable. We live in a world where the cost of living just keeps climbing. Between paying the mortgage, transport fees, insurance, and just keeping the fridge stocked, it can feel like a massive weight on your shoulders. It feels like the second your salary hits your bank account, poof, it's already gone.
Okay, let's dive into this and really unpack why it feels so impossible. Because of that constant, heavy financial pressure, so many of us fall into a very dangerous psychological trap. It's the danger of waiting. We tell ourselves things like, oh, I'll start investing when I get that next promotion. Or, I'll finally get my money sorted out when the timing is perfect and I have a big bucket of cash saved up. But here's the truth. Waiting for the perfect time is a total illusion. You wait 10 years, 20 years, actually sometimes an entire lifetime slips by. The single biggest mistake in personal finance isn't earning too little, it's starting too late.
So we're going to run a really powerful experiment here, using an incredibly small monthly input, just $100 a month. Now to put that into perspective, $100 is literally just the cost of grabbing a few coffees or milk teas over the course of a month. It's barely enough to cover a couple of casual meals on Orchard Road, and there is absolutely no way it's getting you a night's stay at Marina Bay Sands. People love to laugh at the idea of investing just $100. They think it's pointless, but watch exactly what happens when we let time do its thing.
This completely shifts how we need to think about wealth, because we're looking at two totally different games here, salary versus assets. If you only ever rely on your salary, you're stuck playing the game of survival. It's an infinite loop, right? You work, you get paid, you spend it all, your account hits zero, and you're forced to go right back to work. But wealthy people, they play a completely different game. They play the game of assets. They take a tiny slice of their active income and turn it into wealth machine, assets that literally grow and generate money for them while they're fast asleep.
Let's actually map this out. We're going to trace a realistic 40-year wealth journey for an average worker. Notice what's missing here? You aren't founding a billion-dollar tech startup, you didn't win the lottery, and there's definitely no rich uncle leaving you an inheritance. The only thing happening here is consistently buying into an S&P 500 index fund with that $100 every single month for 40 years. We're going to track both the math and the mindset through year 1, year 5, year 10, year 20, all the way to year 40.
All right, step one. Year one is all about building the system. By the end of this year, you've only invested $1,200. To a lot of people, that number looks tiny, almost pitiful. But generating massive financial returns isn't the point of year one. The goal is automation. It's a simple three-step process. You get paid, you automatically transfer that $100, and you buy the S&P 500. You take human emotion completely out of the equation. You aren't trying to time the market, you aren't chasing the latest crypto craze, and you certainly aren't stressing over the daily financial news. The system does the heavy lifting for you.
And that brings us to the true wealth you're actually acquiring in year one, discipline over motivation. This right here is the ultimate dividing line between people who build wealth and people who don't. Most folks are constantly waiting around to feel motivated to save. But let's be real, motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. Successful people don't rely on whether they feel inspired on a random Tuesday morning. Instead, they build unbreakable systems. By totally automating that $100 investment, you're building a rock-solid foundation of discipline that most people never, ever achieve.
Now, fast forward to year 5. This phase is entirely about surviving the noise. By your 5th year, the market will have definitely gone up, sure, but it will have absolutely crashed a few times too. You are going to face economic recessions, rumors of war, and this relentless media panic constantly screaming that the sky is falling, usually just to get you to click on their articles. During every single dip, someone is going to tell you the world is ending and you need to cash out right now. But history proves time and time again that the only way investors actually lose money isn't from the market dropping, it's from quitting in fear.
Now, what's really interesting about this part of the journey is the reward you get for that resilience. By the end of year 5, if you've just ignored all that panic and stuck strictly to your system, you get to experience something magical. You've put in about $6,000 of your own hard-earned cash, right? But you'll log into your account and see that your balance is noticeably higher than what you contributed. This is your very first tangible taste of compound interest at work. It's this light bulb moment where you realize your assets can create actual value completely independent of your physical labor.
Then we hit year 10, and we encounter what I love to call the bamboo effect. Think about how a bamboo tree actually grows. For the first few years, you literally see almost zero progress above ground. Why? Because the plant is busy establishing this massive, deep root system underground, and then, suddenly, boom, it undergoes this explosive upward expansion. Wealth works exactly the same way. The first few years of your $100 investment feel really slow, really linear, but by year 10, that engine of compound interest has finally ignited.
And this is where the script completely flips on who is working for whom. Notice the huge fundamental shift here. From year 1 to year 9, you were out there grinding, working hard for your money. But from year 10 and beyond, your money actively starts working for you. By this point, you've invested around $12,000 total. But because of compounding growth, the returns your assets generate in that 10th year might actually start to rival or even exceed the $1,200 you're putting in yourself. Your wealth engine is officially self-sustaining.
Jump ahead to year 20, and you unlock something way more valuable than just a fat bank balance. You unlock the power of optionality. While your peers might be completely stressed out, job hopping out of sheer desperation, or panicking over every tiny stock market dip, you are sitting pretty on a massive, consistently growing pool of assets. You see, true wealth isn't about buying a flashy luxury car or designer bags to show off to the neighbors. It's about choices. It gives you the freedom to choose a job you actually love, to take a step back and spend more time with your family, or to explore totally new opportunities without being held back by fear. And finally, we arrive at year 40. The ultimate truth. Just imagine yourself at 64 years old, looking back to when you first started this simple little habit at 24. You didn't execute any brilliant, godlike trading strategies. You didn't invent a unicorn tech company. All you did was maintain 40 years of simple, boring consistency with $100 a month. And that single, automated habit, it has compounded into a massive, life-changing asset pool that has completely rewritten your destiny. So the crucial point really comes down to this battle of high income versus time. Society constantly conditions us to believe that a massive salary is the only way to get rich. But honestly, high income is incredibly hard to achieve and surprisingly easy to lose. The true secret to financial freedom is time and consistency. Time is the ultimate cheat code. It magnifies every single correct choice you make. Being consistent over decades matters infinitely more than having a huge paycheck today.
There's a famous proverb that sums this entire philosophy up perfectly. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. It is time to stop making excuses about not having enough leftover cash at the end of the month. It is time to stop waiting around for that perfect, mythical moment to start investing. Your fate isn't changed by massive, dramatic life events. It's changed by the smallest, seemingly insignificant daily and monthly decisions you choose to make right now.
Which leads us to a final, incredibly important question for you to really think about. In 40 years, will you thank today's you or regret today's you? The opportunity to completely change your life doesn't come with fireworks or a marching band. It hides in the mundane, boring choice to automate $100 today. So don't let another decade slip by stuck in that infinite loop of survival. Make the choice today.